Hello guys, good morning. Today is the 17th of July 2023 and today we are sending some water correctness parameters. Basically we are sending seashell to Ota. Ota is around Songo, Ogun State. So that is where this is going today. But before we send it, I would like to make just a little bit of intro and teachings for those of us who normally come to my DM to ask questions about all these stuffs. You see, the advantage of the water corrector materials, because what we do is that we try to get some natural seashells in order to series of natural seashells. We sort it, we activate it, and we powdered it. So this has to do with correcting some little amount of your water parameters. So how do I come through this? I came through this by one, because we have this the normal seashell, the big seashell, the white one that before we normally put it on the tank. Long time ago I do that. I put it on my overhead tanks and it eventually does the same. But the problem this has is that it takes a little bit of time in order to do the correction. So if you are not having a very big storage tank, you may be having a very difficulties in getting your water highly corrected. So what I did is that I need to sit down to search, to test. I wasted a lot of money in order I have to travel down to the beach to sit down to search for a lot of shells, sprinkles and others in order to, and I tested them. I took my time to test them to see which one is suitable for at least what I needed. Because why this is that I'm using the likes of calcium chloride, I'm using the like of bicarbonate of soda, and I'm using the like of soda ash in order to do the correction of my water. But I noticed that if I really want to mount a plant that can serve me for like 3 months, 4 months, depending on how the plant is being loaded, before we recycle it, that means we upgrade it. Because all these things, why people are making mistakes, I think I talked about this in one of my videos. Why people are making series of mistakes about it is that we forget that once you have a treatment material or you have a treatment plant that you are using for your fishes, and this is helping you to correct your water, and maybe you, I don't know, maybe you spend millions of money in order to do that, and once it's done and you are enjoying it, people forget that everything gets expired. So there's a time all these things that are inside the water will get expired. So once they get expired, it is important for you to remove them and replace them. So once a water treatment plant is working effectively before, and by the end of the day you start noticing that it's not working as when due, it simply means some of the elements, some of the devices, some of the correctness that is inside, materials that is inside to correct a particular parameters is expired. So the next thing to do is that since you can observe that parameters, it is advisable for you to do what? To change and upgrade that stuff, remove it and replace it with another one. I will tell you for one example. If you are running a treatment plant, and for those of us that are using the charcoal, yeah, there's a difference between charcoal and activated carbon. I think I will have to stop a little bit for now because this is elaborate teaching, so I will have to take my time to explain this to you guys, maybe from my next video. But let me just shove it at the end. The difference is that it has a work that these are doing to the parameters. The activated carbon have more effective in the parameter than the normal charcoal, and because one, the activated one is being activated so that this can have some little bit of acid to absorb and to kill some of the microbes in your water. But the ordinary charcoal does not have this. So this can take away the dirty. That means the turbidity of your water. This will automatically reduce the turbidity of your water, which both of them can do. But I will sit down one day to explain this to you, to let you have a overview of what these are doing to your waters and how it is translating this to the livelihood of our friars. So, but today we are talking about the water collector materials. We have the seashell here, which is going to Ota today and is going through delivery. As most of us know that the cost of fuel is highly expensive now, so my delivery stuff will be shortened. I won't be going up and down now because of the cost of fuel. So this will be going through a delivery, a courier service. Why that? Because a courier service we just pay the cost of going, we not pay the cost of coming back. But if I'm delivering it, I will have to collect the money for going and coming. So this may be a little bit higher. So it's better for me to use the delivery van. Or else I want to go for a mentorship, or I want to see some things, or I want to advise you on some things that can be done. So today we are sending the seashell to our altar, and before then I would like to do a little bit of demonstration, because people normally ask the way it works, and I told you why I sat down to do this is because I noticed that it is difficult for you to use soda ash, to use bicarbonate of soda, to use the calcium chloride, to use some of these materials to put inside the water and collect your water inside your storage tank or inside your treatment plant that can last a little bit longer, that depending on what the quantity you have. Some can last for 3 months, some can last for 4 months, some can last for 1 month, some can last for 2 weeks, depending on your usage and what you put into the tank or you put it into your plant. So this is how it works. If you have soda ash and you put it into your storage tank, maybe you have your storage tank is a cubic meter, and once you are putting the cubic meter, maybe you are using 50 you are using just 20 grams into it, depending on the level of the water. If you are using the 20 grams, it may correct the cubic meter. But note that immediately you finish that cubic meter and you made a silly mistake. Maybe you are running a flow through, and you make a silly mistake on honing your pumping machine. The water will automatically change, and this will affect your fryers. Many people are getting it wrong in that side. Some people will tell me they use soda ash, they put soda ash in their storage tank, and their fish are still dying because they didn't manage the storage tank. So you need to manage your storage tank. How do you manage your storage tank? You must know how many hours the cubic meter of water will take your incubator, and as soon as it's getting finished, make sure that you pump another fresh water into the storage tank. You put again your soda ash and you leave it a little bit to correct, and you now put it back into your incubator. But if you are not doing this, to me you are still getting it very, very wrong, and this may automatically be affecting your fryers. If you don't, no, it will definitely affect your fryers. You don't need to take care about that. So I told you I have to sit down, and I looked at what can I use if I'm not using Casolite, if I'm not using Zoolite, if I'm not using Hydrolite. Okay, because all these things I mentioned too can help you in correcting it, but they are not effective as the seashell. Truth has to be told, they are not really effective as the seashell. This will take a longer period, and if you are not careful, if you can't wait for that longer hours for it to correct this water, it may affect your fryers. So but there's a way I process them and I use it. So because I have something that is already made in order to solve those problems, so I need to talk to you about it. So this can take longer in your storage tank. This can take much longer in your treatment plant. If you are using a tank of this size and you are putting a seashell of this amount into it, I bet you, depending on your incubator and how much volume of water you are running, this can still last for like 2 months or 3 months in your water, depending on what you are putting. This will be helping you to correct it. But if you are using soda ash, if you are not careful, one, for the mistakes, two, the stress you are overgoing by going running water, coming back, putting into this, the stress you are undergoing, and the money you will spend in this, you will notice that this is more okay for me either to put in my storage tank or either to use it in my treatment plant. So this is how it works.